Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. You know, I've been meaning to make this video for a very long time, and just recently I've been motivated, shall we say, and so I'm gonna make it. I want to touch a little bit on GooglePlus, because GooglePlus is it's really kind of one of those places that's still mired in screwed upness, and what I mean by that is they don't have it right yet. They just don't. I love it when people brag about their Google Plus numbers, because the truth of the matter is that the way they calculate the numbers are just funky, to say the least, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I also want to talk about Google Hangouts, because all that's tied in with the whole Google Plus thing, and you know, the integration with YouTube and all that good stuff. I really don't know how many times I've had invitations to a Google Hangout or somebody's live show or something like that, and I mean, it's endless. I really don't know. I mean, hundreds of times, conservatively, hundreds of times. I don't think thousands of times, but hundreds of times for sure. I'm talking even predating when Google Plus merged with YouTube. But you know, I've accepted one invitation to do a live show with somebody or a hangout. They were always called hangouts, and now people who have kind of tied theirs into podcasting and whatnot, they have this they have the tendency to call it their show or their live show, or you know, whatever, and that's fine. You know, brand whatever you're doing any way you want. You know, whatever, however it works for you. So now I've only done one, and I think, if I remember right, Artisan Tony put it on. I may be wrong about that. It's possible that it was the Haas or maybe G-Webs or gun websites. Anyway, it was one of the three for sure. And I sat in. It was kind of cool. And Yankee Marshall was in there, and a couple of other people that, you know, I've known for years, and I mean, it's all right, you know, but to be honest with you, truthfully, all bullshit put aside, it's just not my thing. Absolutely not my thing. I mean, they range from kind of a cool chat with some friends to just an absurd circle jerk of buffoonery. I mean, literally. And I'll be honest with you, I just don't see the upside to any of it, for me at least. For those of you who are trying to create a kind of a radio show persona, that's fine. You know, that's fine. Sadly, though, there's some of you out there who just are complete fails at it, and but you know, I listen to me. I'm not going to bag on anybody. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. You know, I just find it funny though that a lot of times I'm the topic of conversation, me or you know, one of my females that, you know, one of the females that circle in my life. But anyway, I kind of wanted to show you guys how absurd the whole YouTube Google Plus merger / numbers work. I mean, we all know that the view counter over on YouTube is jacked up most of the time. I mean, it is. I mean, you know, it'll run pretty good for a little while, and then they'll do something, and I don't know, one of the first victims of whatever goofiness that they're working on, it always seems to negatively affect the view counts. But don't worry, it doesn't affect your money. You know. But anyway, you know, we all know that the YouTube view counts are jacked up, but you know, the view counts on Google Plus they're just a straight up work of fiction. I'll tell you right now, I have no clue. If you know how they formulate these numbers, let me know, because I've tried to figure it out. I really have. I've tried to figure it out, and honestly, I can't do it. I just can't. I've had people tell me that when you share something to your Google Plus and you roll through, or you should say you roll through, when other people roll through their feed, it automatically counts that as a view. Whether they actually stopped, played the video or not, they count it as a view. Same thing if you post a photo. If people scroll through past it on their stream, it still counts it as a view. And if they're scrolling up and down on their stream, it's, you know, double, triple, quadruple counting the same image, whether it's a thumbnail for a video or whether it's a photograph. I mean, that's what I've been told. And that would kind of make sense when I look at some of the numbers. Let me start off with this. right now you're looking at Julia Steele's Google Plus page. And I'm only going to speak to the people that I am actually involved with, okay? I'm not going to talk about other people. Well, no, I take that back. There will be a special guest appearance at the very end. All right, Julia Steele, okay, she has a Google Plus page that she does actively post to. More so than I think any other female that I've ever worked with. I mean, you know, personally, she likes to post on her Google Plus. She posts some of the photos that she doesn't feel comfortable with putting on Facebook for whatever reason. She does a lot of modeling. She's been a model for years. She's, what, 26 years old. She's been a model since she was probably 18, maybe younger than that. I don't know. So she has a lot of work in her portfolio that she shares with people. Anyway, she has 4,474 followers. Now, understand, she's been on YouTube for a couple months now. I believe it's less than 3 months. I think it's a little over 2 months. I didn't verify or check. I don't remember. It all kind of blends into me. But a couple of months, okay? And so 4,474 followers, which is not bad. It's fairly solid. And 3,772,414 views on her Google Plus offerings. Okay. All right. Okay. Numbers are solid, I guess. I mean, and I know other people, by the way, I know people who brag, literally brag about the numbers that their live shows get, whatever, and they're not even in the same ballpark. And I'm not, listen, I guess I shouldn't say that in a kind of a facetious manner, because truthfully, I don't know how these numbers are calculated. I mean, I really don't. So anyway, let's go to the next one. Okay, the next one. Oh, wait. Let me go back one. I'm sorry. Mad Bad Voodoo. I have not logged on to the Mad Bad Voodoo channel in forever. I mean, forever. A long, long time. And it has 73 followers. You know, it's sad, isn't it? But that's okay. I might do something about that. I probably should do something about that. Okay. So now remember, Julia Steele, 4,474 followers with 3.7 million views. Now we're going to go to Crystal Blade. Crystal Blade, who has not posted a video, or she hasn't made a video since December 13th. Yeah, we're pushing a year now. That's the last time she made a new video. Now I have a bunch of footage nobody's seen before, so, you know, whatever. I guess if I post that, then it's a new video. But for the most part, she does nothing with her Google Plus, or I shouldn't even say she's not even involved with it anymore. But it's got 4,565 followers and 10,528,260 views. Okay, now I want you to remember that 10 million, well, just say 10.5. We'll make it easy math. 10.5 million views on somebody that does almost nothing with their Google Plus. Wow. Okay. What little is done with the Google Plus is sharing other people's, and I'm the one that does that. So there you have it. All right. So because Crystal Blade is no longer involved with the channel, it's just the way it is. All right, Cambria Lee, who's been on YouTube for less time than Julia has, not a lot less, but less nonetheless, has 5,260 followers and 12.4 million views on Google+. That's right. And by the way, Cambria, although she does post a photo from time to time, I don't think she hardly does anything with her Google+. I may be wrong about that. I guess I should have did a little homework before. But I'm pretty sure, other than sharing other people's stuff, I don't think she doesn't post a lot of her own photos. And maybe that's because she does a lot of fetish modeling, and she probably, yeah, I mean, my guess is she doesn't want to screw up her Google account. Because some of the stuff she does is pretty, you know, it's probably a violation of terms of service. That's my guess. I don't know. I'll ask her next time I see her. I think most of the time she posts those photos that she does in her photo shoots over on her Facebook, and then she's got some other photo sharing site, and I don't remember what it is offhand. But anyway, look, 12.4 million views. Oh, wow. All right, now let me put this in perspective. This is very, very important. The next Google Plus page will kind of tell the whole story, okay? FPS Russia. FPS Russia. With 61,000 followers. Okay. And he has 9,105,240 views. Now listen. That's less views than Crystal Blade or Cambria Lee. You know? And he's FPS Russia. And he has 61,000 followers on his Google+. Now, you may say, well, yeah, but he doesn't probably do anything with his Google+. Every time he posts a video, it automatically gets shared to his Google+. You know, I mean, and he's got 61,000 followers, so they're getting those videos in their streams. I mean, 61,000 is what did, excuse me, what did Cambria have? 5,260? But yet she's got 12,416,000 views. And then FPS Russia has 61,000 followers, and he only has, listen to me, only, he only has 9,105,000. So here's kind of my point to the whole thing. How do they calculate these numbers? Honestly, how do they calculate these numbers? Because they seem to be fictitious, to say the least. Now, I have a theory on that. Because, you know, of course I do. Of course I do. I think Google, for the most part, they really wanted people to embrace this Google Plus thing. They really did. They really wanted the average Joe, because, you know, that's important. Okay, they shit on you most of the time, and they give they pay favoritism to certain YouTubers. You know that. Okay, we've talked about that before. Okay, but in this situation was a little different, because they had to get the average YouTuber hooked on Google+. They had to get them to, at the very least, accept Google+. And the way to do that was to inflate a bunch of their views. Because one of the biggest complaints that most people have is their view count. In fact, most of the hate, to be honest with you, that comes towards my quote-unquote gun bunnies comes from a place in these people's hearts that is jealousy over views. And I know this for a fact because I've watched some of their stupid rants and whatnot, and it usually does come down with, I have better content, I have better videos, I have better guests on my shows, and I can't get people to view, and then one of these gun bunnies shakes their little butt and shoots a gun, and they get 20,000 subscribers. That literally, it had, literally came out of some asshat's mouth last week, I think it was. I mean, that's seriously, it all comes down to that. It comes down to jealousy over numbers. So a lot of people who put time and effort into either YouTube or live streams or any of this stuff, you know, let's be honest, for a lot of them, a lot of them are disappointed in the low numbers that they have. So Google, you know, in my opinion, have padded people's numbers to make them feel better about themselves. And on top of that, hey, you might not get views on YouTube, but you're king over at Google+. When in reality, you're really not. I mean, seriously. I mean, unless I'm seeing things different than it should be seen. I mean, you know, let me know. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I mean, am I onto something with this? Because it just seems bizarre to me that FPS Russia would have less views than Julia Steele, not Julia Steele, Cambria Lee, or Crystal Blade. Okay, I love both of them. They're both rock stars. Okay, they're both rock stars, no doubt about it. Yeah, but to be honest with you, you know, FPS Russia is still FPS Russia. He still has an enormous fan base. So I don't know. You know, let me know in the comment section, like I said, what you guys think. And by the way, for those of you who are into the whole live streaming and stuff, I'm not trying to butthurt you. I'm really not. I'm a real firm believer in do your thing, I'll do my thing. I'm not going to be up your ass about what you do, but in return, I expect a reach around. You know, I expect you to be, you know, just do your freaking thing. Do your freaking thing. And you never know, one of these days, either me or one of my girls might actually be on we may actually be a guest. I mean, you know, you keep asking. You know, you keep asking. And maybe some people say, well, that's why you're getting so much hate, because you refuse to be on their shows. Well, you know, whatever. I don't have to be on their shows. And so, yeah, that's it in a nutshell. All right. Keep rocking. Keep on keeping on. All right, everybody, take care. See ya.